शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। ॐ Dear friends, welcome to the study of the Yoga Sutras. In the last class, we were seeing the Sutra number 21, I suppose. The 21 about the Kaya Vyuha. Kaya Vyuha means that is on the body. We were supposed to be meditating on the body. I will just locate that. Kaya Rupa Sanyamat. Kaya Rupa Sanyamat Grahya Shakti Stambhe Chakshush Prakasha Samprayoge Antardhanam. How a person can disappear. So Kaya Rupa Sanyamat. By doing Sanyama on the nature of the body, Kaya, the nature and also the form of the body, the Grahya Shakti, the perceptibility of the body gets suspended. Grahya Shakti Stambhe, Stambhanam. Stambhanam is just frozen, something which is frozen. That is Grahya Shakti, the perceptibility by somebody else, that gets suspended. And by that, the light from the eye of that seer, whoever is the onlooker, that onlooker he cannot see because his eye cannot see that. There is no light which is being reflected from here, so the eye cannot see that. So that is what happens, antardhanam. So it may look rather far-fetched, but then we do not know. We do not know if something has happened. Then now we have to come to the 22nd sloka. 22nd sloka. Now I will share the screen. Yeah. 22nd Sutra. So now it is talking about the karma, whether it is a good karma or a bad karma, which is done by a person during the lifetime. Now it is the karma result. Karma, we know that karma means two things, both the action we do and also the fruit we get. It is in somebody, in Telugu particularly, we say, oh, this is all his karma. The karma is not the right word, but instead of to emphasize it, we say, oh, it is a karma. It is not karma, but karma. But karma is something which is also the action and also the result of it. It can mean depending on the context. But here it is talking about the result. Sopakramam nirupakramancha karma tat sanyamat aparanta jnanam arishtebhyo va. Sopakramam nirupakramancha karma tat sanyamat aparanta jnanam arishtebhyo va. Then what is this? Sa upakramam. Upakrama, upasamhara, we know these words. Upakrama means commencing something. Upakrama. Krama actually means steps. Trivikrama. Trivikrama is the person who has taken 3 huge steps. Vikrama. So like that, krama means to take a step. So sopakrama, that which has sa plus upakrama, sopakrama, that is that which has commenced. Upakrama has taken place. And nirupakrama, nirupakrama, that is something which has not yet commenced, which is yet to commence. Karma, sopakramam, nirupakramancha karma. So some karma which we have done, and then that karma phala is just pressing. Suppose you do some serious tapas, and that very serious tapas, it will give some immediate result. Some small endeavor, some small request, and some small tapas we have made, it may give result at a later time. Similarly, a very bad karma, very highly atrocious karma we have done, so it will immediately give result. So give result means even the law will call it a grave offense, and then they will try to give immediate punishment. So that when it is something light, the case goes on like in the courts for years and years. It can be like that. So in Yama's court, or depending on the whims and the moods of the gentleman called, what is he? The gentleman, Yama's assistant is there. So that gentleman, depending on his mood, it will be fast or it will be slow. Of course, I'm telling in a very, very light vein because it should not be taken seriously, because that is something which again is something which is visualized by us, which is imagined by us. And Yama's account is always perfect. And the Chitragupta is always perfect. Chitragupta. Gupta means to protect. Chitragupta, very wonderfully protecting all our information. So, Sopakramam Nirupakramancha karma. Then that which has commenced, that karma, that's sanyamat. by doing sanyama on that. Aparanta jnanam, the knowledge of death. Aparantam means death. In fact, we get this word in Upanishad also, Mundaka Upanishad, and also in some other places. What is that? Te brahmaloke tu parantakale, we say parantakala and aparantakala. There is a description in the Upanishads. Parantakala is para, we know that word para is high, apara is low. Apara antakala. Anta, what is anta? Anta means end. Anta is end. End means death. Antakala, the death time. Antakala is the death time. Then aparantakala means apara is lower, the lower death time. The lower death time means the lower or inferior death time. What all we experience is inferior death. That is, we are born and then birth, and then like Eliot says that we do certain things and then we die. So that is what is life. Measured out with coffee spoons and whatnot. So that is aparantakala. That is something which is a lower life and lower type of death. And again, why is it called a lower type of death? Because again, it is followed by another birth. It is again followed by another birth. Again death, again birth. So it is something which is a lower thing. Parantakala is something which is para. Para is higher. A person attains jnana and a person is doing some upasana. He is on the right path. And by that upasana means not merely devata puja and all that. I'm talking in terms of meditation and the nididhyasana. Let me use the right word called nididhyasana. So by doing that nididhyasana, we are at a higher level. Because of that, a person when he dies, of course, if he has realized, there is a mukti, jivan mukti itself. Even if he has not realized, he reaches a world called the Satya Loka. We are also going to see that all the lokas, very interesting sutra. So that loka, he stays along with that creator Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Brahma. And thereafter, he along with till the end of that kalpa, and along with that Brahman, he becomes one with that Brahman. Along with that Hiranyagarbha Brahma, he becomes one with that Supreme Brahman. So that is Parantakala. So te Brahma loke tu Parantakale Paramrutat Parimuchyanti Sarve, something like that. So that is, in fact, whenever we receive sannyasis, we do that what is called Purna Kumbha Swagatam. At that time, it is told in these mantras are also recited. It is also there in Mahanarayana Upanishad. It starts like something to do with Kalasha. Yeah, I've forgotten that. Anyway, so Parantakala is that higher death where a person who is a jnani, a person who is on the right path, who is doing that nididhyasana, etc., he dies and then he stays in that Satyaloka. So that is what is Parantakala. Then Aparantakala is ordinary death. So here the Aparanta, we do not know why he has used that word aparanta to mean death. He could have used some other word also, but he has used aparanta. So probably he is also accepting that there is something called paranta. Of course, naturally, because Patanjali is not against the Upanishads. So what is there in the Upanishads, he is also taking. So aparanta jnanam or arishtebhyo va or arishtebhyaha, aristam, something which is not ishtam, something which is not desired by us, something which is a bad portent. We talk about some bad omens and bad portents. Portent is a sort of archaic word, but I could not choose a better word, so I have used the word bad portents. So of any bad portents. So karma is twofold. Karma here we have to mean karma phala is of two folds. In fact, I could have clarified karma instead of calling it karma phala. The fruit of karma is twofold: that which has commenced and that which has not yet commenced. By doing sanyama on that, the yogi attains the foreknowledge of the death or of bad portents. Ayurvipakam karma dvividham sopakramam nirupakramancha. Ayurvipakam, ayuhu means life. Vipaka is the result. Ayurvipakam karma means the karma for which the ayu is the result. Life is the result. Ayuhu vipakam yasya karmana. That is ayurvipakam karma. Ayurvipakam, ayuhu vipakam is the result. Yasya. That is ayu, the present life is the result of this karma. So that is of two types: sopakramam, nirupakramam, something which is coming with full force, and something which is nirupakramam. For example, if somebody commits a murder, the police will be chasing him. That is chasing. It comes chasing. Suppose he has committed a very small offense, a very small offense. Somebody just shouted at somebody on the road or something like that. So the police will not bother to arrest him so soon. So like that, sopakramam, nirupakramam karma, nirupakramam, not yet commenced, depending on the intensity of our action. So he gives some small examples. Tatha yatra yatha ardram vastram vitanitam lahiyasa kalena shushyet, and the sopakramam, something which is giving result early, something which is not giving early, then something like that. Then arishtam, let us see this arishtam. Trividham arishtam, adhyatmikam, adhibhautikam, adhidaivikam cheti. I could have just split it also. Just now I found that Sanskrit website is now restored. Till yesterday it was not restored. Today I am seeing it is restored. Maybe in the next class I'll make the corrections. I will make the text more correct, or rather friendly. Trividham arishtam. Three types arishtam. Something which is not desired is something which is it is of three types. Adhyatmikam, we know these terms. Adhyatmikam is something to do with the self. Adhi Atma is Adhyatma, something relating to one's own self, not outside. Adhibhautikam, something which is relating to all the external world, not merely the five elements, Bhuta, not merely the five elements. I interact with my friend, I go out and then I dine and then I get some bad stomach. All these Adhibhautikam. Adhidaivikam, something which is something which is fortuitous, something which has come unexpectedly, something like a divine intervention. Then tatra adhyatmikam, what are these bad portents? We do hear, it seems, the Shastras, they talk about certain bad portents. What are they? Adhyatmikam ghosham swadehe pihita karno na shrunu pihita karna ghosham swadehe pihita karnaha na shrunoti. Pihita karnaha. Suppose I close my ears like this. If I close my ears, when I close my ears also, I hear some gentle humming voice, not voice, some noise, gentle humming sound rather, not even noise, sound, gentle humming sound. Even if I close like this, we can hear some gentle humming sound. But a person who is likely to die, he doesn't hear anything. Maybe that is because all the faculties, they become rather weak and weaker as we grow old. Then Jyotirva Netre Avashtabdhe Napashyati. Netre Avashtabdhe Jyotihi Napashyati. That is, when I close my eyes, and a person who is about to die, he will not be able to see light. When we close our eyes, we can always see. When we close our eyes, also suppose we are doing meditation. Even then, you see so many pictures in front of the eye. Even when we are closing our eyes, we see so many pictures. And sometimes, suppose we remove all those pictures and then we try to concentrate on this Bhru Madhya. Even at that, when we consciously removing all the photos, all the images, etc., then you are not seeing darkness. We see some light only. So that light will not be seen by a person who is likely to die. That is an indication of the death which is forthcoming. Then tatha adhibhautikam yamapurushan pashyati. Adhibhautikam, something come external. So he sees, oh, there's some messengers of Yama, some messengers of Yama. Pitrun atitan akasmat pashyati. Some Pitru Devatas, he sees them, he has some visions of them. Such visions, vision of some Yamadutas, vision of this Pitru Devatas. That is again an indication that he is likely to die. Tatha adhidaivikam, something to do with the divine. What is that? Swargam akasmat siddhan va pashyati. So he sees that heaven, he has a vision of some heaven, or he sees some siddha purushas. Then viparitam va sarvamiti. Everything he sees contrary. Something which is there, he doesn't see that, he sees something else, viparitam va. Anena va janati aparantam upasthitamiti. So by this he knows aparantam upasthitam. Oh, this end time has come. So he knows that. Now we come to the next sutra. This is also interesting. Maitreya. Yeah, here of course karma. If we want to see in a rather logical way, if we want to understand, sopakramam nirupakramancha karma is. Suppose what all we are experiencing in this life is a result of some past karma only. So if we have an analysis, if we make an analysis of what all we have been undergoing during this life, that is what it says. We have to do meditate, we have to do samyama on this, what all has happened, what is all my experience since my childhood, the good, bad, and all the experiences, so many karma phalas have come. So all that karma, dharma, adharma, all those things. In fact, here also the dharma, the commentator writes dharmayoho, yeah, tasmin karmani dharmayoho sanyamad, writes Tato Vaisharadi, that is this Vachaspati Mishra. Dharmayoho sanyamat. By doing samyama on the dharma result and also the adharma result on us, then we will be having some knowledge of this aparanta kala, aparanta jnanam. Then Maitriyadishu Balani. Next sutra is Maitri Adishu. So we got this word earlier. Maitri Karuna Mudito Petshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadanam. A wonderful sutra we got earlier. That is 1-33. 1-33. We saw one sutra. Maitri, friendliness. That is, you are just friendly to everybody. Then Karuna, compassion towards the people who are. Of course, Maitri, in that sutra, it is told in the context of avoiding jealousy. Maitri, Karuna, compassion in the case of people who are in some problem. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, happiness. When somebody is happy, you are also happy. Mudita, yeah, Mudita is regarding jealousy. Maitri is about something else. We will come to that. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeshana, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Punya Vishayana. When somebody is happy, okay, you are also happy, friendly with him. So like that. So that also is somewhat to avoid jealousy and all that. So Mudita Upekshana Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayana. When somebody is in Dukkha, you are compassionate. When somebody is very, very rich, he has achieved something great, you need not feel jealous, and then you are just you are also happy along with him. Then apunya vishayana, apunya, somebody who is a sinner, somebody who is doing some horrible deeds, you just ignore him. Upeksha is just ignoring, totally be neutral to him. That is, those four things were told. But in this sutra, the commentary, Maitriya Dishu, that is plural, we know. And whether Patanjali is talking about 4 or 3, we do not know. But Vyasa says it is about 3 only. Because Upeksha is something which is not something which is a positive thing. You are just ignoring him. This is Maitri, Karuna, Mudita is something which is a positive experience. That other experience, it is something which is neutral. You are just neutral to that. You are neither condemning it nor doing anything else. So we are the Vyasa is taking only these 3, Maitri, Karuna, and Mudita. So we'll see that Maitriyadishu Balani, by doing Sanyama on this Maitri, Karuna, and Mudita, Balani, the yogi would attain various strengths. So Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Tisro Bhavanaha, the 3 Bhavanaha, 3 types of attitudes. Bhavana here can be attitudes. Bhuteshu Sukhiteshu Maitrim. When somebody is happy, we are having Maitri. Bhavaitva, Maitri Balam Labhate, the strength of friendliness. That strength of friendliness, he is somebody who is someone who is loved by all, who is friendly to all. Then next line is Dukhiteshu Karunam Bhavaitva, Karuna Balam Labhate. Dukhiteshu, when somebody is feeling sad or miserable, Karunam Bhavaitva, not merely some lip sympathy or compassion. One has to do something positively also. So that is what is Karuna. Karuna here does not mean sitting in our room and then sympathizing, but something positive to help. Bhavaitva, Karuna Balam Labhate. That also is a Balam. Punyashileshu, Muditam Bhavaitva, Punyashileshu. Somebody is doing very great jobs, very great works, not necessarily achieved money, acquired a lot of money and all that. Now we are talking about Punya. He is doing some very good deeds. In all those good deeds, we are avoiding Asuya. Asuya is Guneshu Dosha Vishkaranam Asuya. That is, somebody is doing some right thing and I am not able to do that. And I say, oh, that is all because he wants to spend away his ill-gotten wealth. So suppose I do something. Suppose somebody is doing some yajna, or somebody is giving some donation or something. I want to find fault with him. Right? Is all about illegal money. I say. So like that, Punya Shileshu, but we should not say that. Punya Shileshu Muditam Bhavaitva. When somebody is doing a good job, so admire it, you accept it, give a compliment, Bhavaitva. Mudita Balam Labhate. All these are Balam. These are all Balam for the person. Why is it balam? Because it is not being an obstruction to you in your path of inquiry. Otherwise, if you don't have this attitude, then at some point, in the mind, in some corner of the mind, some jealousy is nagging. At some other corner of the mind, something else is nagging. And some other corner of the mind, your this asuya is nagging. So like that, this balam is something which is neutralizing all those negative sentiments. Bhavanatah समाधिः यः स संयमः ततो बलान् what is this बलान् अवन्ध्यवीर्याणि बलानि sorry not बलान् बलानि अवन्ध्यवीर्याणि जायन्ते अवन्ध्यवीर्यं वीर्यं we know strength avandhya vandhya means something which is barren avandhya means not barren avandhya veeryam that means very effective avandhya that is very efficient it is not fail proof rather Avandhyaviriyani jayante. Papasileshu upeksha, natu bhavana. Papasila, we are just upeksha. There is no positive sentiment there, positive or negative. It is just a neutral sentiment. Tatasya tasyam nasti samadhi. There is no need for samadhi. So here, small notice. Commentator Vyasa takes 3 points mentioned in the sutra. Friendliness, compassion, and joy. He leaves out upeksha as it is not a positive factor to be meditated upon. There is nothing, no positive action to be meditated upon. Then Baleshu Hasti Baladini. Suppose by doing Sanyama on Baleshu Sanyamat, that Sanyamat we have to borrow here and also earlier also Maitriyadishu Sanyamat Balani, Balani Labate. So like that. Then here Baleshu Sanyamat Hasti Baladini Labate. Baleshu, by doing Sanyama, I used to look at an elephant and I do Samyama. Sanyama on the strength of that elephant. I get the strength of that elephant. Anyway, that is that is a sutra. We have to accept it. By doing sanyama on strong beings, hasti baladini, the yogi attains the strength of an elephant. Bala adi hasti. It may be some other strong hero or somebody like that. Hasti baladini. By doing sanyama, okay. There is only one line commentary here also. One line. Hasti bale sanyamat. Hasti balo bhavati. Clear. Vainateya bale sanyamat, Vainateya balo bhavati. Vainateya balam. Vainateya is Garutman. Garutman, Garudastarkshiva, Vainateya, Khageshwara. Vainateya is Khageshwara. Khageshwara is that the lord of all Khaga, all birds. He is the Garuda. So that Garuda, so we get the strength of that Garuda. Then Vayu Bale Sanyamat. Vayu is another strong person in our Puranas. Vayu Bale Sanyamat, Vayu Balo Bhavati, Ityevamadi. And that is the reason why Vayu Deva's sons are Hanuman and also Bhima. Vayu Bale Sanyamat, Vayu Balo Bhavati, Ityevamadi. So similarly, other things. Then Pravrutyaloka Nyasat Sukshma Vyavahida Viprakrushta Jnanam. So this I could not do that splitting because of that website was not there. Pravrutti Aloka Nyasat. Pravrutti Aloka Nyasat Sukshma Vyavahita Viprakrushta Jnanam. Pravrutti is basically a disposition. Aloka means the light or the understanding which is of the nature of light. Understanding leads us, understanding guides us to do something. So that is like light. Suppose I have proper understanding of a thing that guides me in a particular way. So that is like light. So pravrutti aloka. Sanyamat. Sanyama means by doing sanyama on that brilliant disposition. What is that brilliant disposition? We are going to see in that commentary. The commentator Vyasa says, Jyotishmati Pravrutti we saw in the earlier sutra, in the first pada, we saw Vishokava Jyotishmati. There was a sutra there. So Pravrutti Aloka Nyasat. Nyasa means putting something somewhere. Nyasam. I deposit something in a place, that is called Nyasam. I keep some money in the bank. That is what is Nyasa. So Nyasa means keeping something there. We also see Angan Nyasa, Karan Nyasa, etc. What is it we are doing in Angan Nyasa, Karan Nyasa? Karan Nyasa, we are installing, or rather we are putting that Gayatri mantra on our fingers and also Karatala Karaprushtabhyam. Then similarly, we are putting that Gayatri mantra in our whole body so that the person who is doing prayer, he becomes that God itself. Na Rudro Rudramarchayet. There is one saying, Na Rudraha Rudramarchayet. One has to become Rudra and then do puja of Rudra. So similarly, he becomes God. He does Anganyasa, Karanyasa, Mahanyasa, we to call it. So we do that Nyasa. We do that, what is that? Not embedding. We install the whole mantra on our body parts so that you become that deity. So that is Nyasa. Nyasa means keeping. So here Nyasa means what is keeping? What is it we are keeping? Our mind, all our attention we are keeping. So Nyasa is Sanyama. So that is what some commentators have said. And some other people have said some small, almost something similar, but Nyasa, it does not mean any other thing in the whole context. It means only Sanyama. Pravrutyaloka Nyasat Sukshma Vyavahita Viprakrishta Jnana. Sukshma is something which is very subtle, something which is very difficult to comprehend with our normal logic. Then Vyavahita means something which is concealed, something which is on the other side of the wall. I do not know. There is a wall here. On the other side of the wall, I do not know what is there. But here, if I by doing Sanyama with this in this particular manner, in that Jyotishmati Pravrutti, with that brilliant disposition which was described in the first what is that sutra number is 36 or what? Baleshu Asti Baladini Jyotishmati. Yeah, 1-36, first pada, 36th sutra. Vishokava Jyotishmati. So then that Jyotishmati disposition, that is basically a sattvika disposition, totally pure mind. If you want to see truth, one has to have a pure mind. Even in the normal logic, even according to normal logic, we know that if we want to see the nature of a thing in a very, very correct manner, we have to have a totally neutral disposition. Totally neutral and also very positive, very not positive, very sattvika disposition, rising above all narrow prejudices or anything, rising above all those things. When we are like that, then we can see truth. So, Nyasat, Sukshma, Vyavahita, something which is concealed on the other side, and Viprakrushta, Prakrushta, Krishna, Karshanam is pulling, Prakrushta, something which is pulled away, Viprakrushta, something which is far away. I will be able to see what is happening in some place in Delhi or some such place. Viprakrushta Jnanam, the knowledge of things located far away. I'll be able to have some knowledge. So by doing Sanyama on the light of Jyotishmati, the commentator says the Jyotishmati disposition, Jyotishmati pravrittihi ukta manasaha tasyaha ya alokaha tam yogi sukshmeva vyavahiteva viprakushteva arthe vinyasya tam artham adhigacchati. Jyotishmati pravrittihi ukta. This particular pravritti, this particular disposition, this particular frame of mind was told earlier. Pravrittihi manasaha pravrittihi Jyotishmati manasaha pravrittihi ukta. Tasyaha ya alokaha tam yogi tasyaha ya alokaha. The brilliance of that, the light of that, the understanding of that Jyotishmati pravritti. You have to focus on something which is subtle, sukshmeva, vyavahiteva, something which is concealed. Viprakushteva arthe. Arthe means object. Viprakushta means far off object. Vinyasya, having deposited there. Tam artham adhigachati. He attains, or rather he knows, he has the knowledge of that particular object. The principle is that one can see truth in the light of a sattvika, pure mind. Then, this is a very interesting sutra. I think this will take all our time today. Then Bhuvana Jnanam Surye Sanyamat. Bhuvana Jnanam. Bhuvana is world. We talk about Tribhuvana, Uhu Bhuvaha Suvaha. And then we also talk about Chaturdasha Bhuvanani. Chaturdasha Bhuvanani, what are they? They are supposed to be 7 lower worlds and 7 upper worlds. 7 nether worlds, or not subterranean, something which are nether, let us call it nether worlds, which are associated with hell, various levels of degrees of torture, let us say, degrees of torture, degrees of suffering rather. So then the other various degrees of happiness, in happiness also there are so many degrees. One person takes a drink and then he feels happy. That is one level of happiness. One person just enjoys and then that is enjoys with some other objects. So that is his happiness. So and then there are some other people who enjoy when they do supper, when they do tapas. Some other people when they observe nishtha, very great tapas and the austerity and nishtha, then they are happy. So they are in a separate world. Somebody who is doing tapas in a separate world. Somebody who is doing karma is in a separate world. Somebody who is enjoying life in a very free libertine manner, he is in a different world. So these are the various worlds. So now this sutra is going to describe what are all the lower worlds and all the upper worlds, etc., in a very interesting way. So Bhuvana Jnanam, the knowledge of all the worlds. Surya Sanyamat. Surya means not the physical that ball which is there. Surya Dwara and Surya Dwara. We hear about this in the Upanishads and also in the Gita. In the Gita, we talk in the Ashtamadhyaya. Shukla Krishna Gati Hiyate, we see Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati. Shukla is the bright path, Krishna Gati, that is the dark path. The bright path is for those who have done some upasana and all those things, upasana and austerities, tapas, etc. And the dark path is for, of course, dark path also, they do go to heaven, certain heavenly lokas, but then they are lower heavenly lokas. They just go to Pitraloka or ordinary Swargaloka. They just drink, enjoy, and then after their time is over, again they come back to the world. So heaven, what we talk about heaven is something which is an extension of physical pleasures, sort of nice casino, as somebody says. Somebody said, one Swamiji, I think it is Swami Dayananda or somebody who said, it is somewhat heaven is like a casino where you go with a big debit card, and there is no credit card there. So that the debit card you go, and then as long as your punya account is there, you just be there, and then the punya account is over, then all those people they are calculating, as I said, that Chitragupta or maybe somebody else, some accountant in heaven also. So that those gentlemen, they will just gently nudge you to back to earth. So that is what is the structure. So this loka, where were we? So by doing, Sanyama on the sun, sun, that is a light path. That is Shuklagati. Shuklagati is that bright path. What is this bright path? Bright path is by this meditation, by upasana, by austerities, by doing various other good karmas, etc. Karma without, that is Nishkama karma, etc. So with all these things, a person attains the Shuklagati, that is the bright path, where he goes to a higher level of the heavenly worlds. Heavenly worlds again are in various levels. We are going to see that. So the higher level of heavenly worlds are for those who do tapas. So that is the reason why in this Gayatri mantra also there are 7 Vyahrutis. Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha. Bhuvarloka Suvarloka. That Suvarloka again is, these differences are there, where Indra is there, and then Indraloka is there, and then Yamaloka is there, and then Yamaloka is not a heavy hellish world. Then again this Pitraloka otherwise called Yamaloka. So that Pitraloka is there. So these are all certain things. And above that, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Mahat is one loka. Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. So in fact, earlier also I was telling about the lokas on some other occasion, previous sutras. I was referring to Mahabharata Sabhaparva, the beginning adhyayas. In the beginning adhyayas, Narada describes the worlds of the Brahmaloka, then Yamaloka, Indraloka, and all those loka, Varuna Loka, etc. So all these are those intermediate levels where the people who have done very good job, they go and enjoy. For example, a Chakravarti, an emperor who has done very judiciously ruled the whole earth. And that man goes and sits there along with some lord. And then as long as his punyam is there, he stays there and again comes back here. Then again, somebody else, he has done various yajnas and all that. Oh, all through his life, he has done some yajnas. So with that, he will go to heaven and then dance with Ramba for some time, and again he will come back. So like that, these are all various types of attainments. Attainments means this subtle life. It is not as though the person physically goes. There are many people who take all these things in a literal manner. There are people who say that yes, all these lokas are very much there. But long ago, even our own Vedanta people, then for example, Shankaracharya, long ago, we know that Prior to Shankaracharya, what was there? Shankaracharya wrote the same thing. It is not as though Shankaracharya has introduced his own ideas. So he has told them in a very effective way. So, for example, Shankaracharya talks about lokas. He says, Lokyate, Anubhuyate, iti lokaha. That is what he says. Lokyate, look. In English also we have the word look. Lokyate, that which is seen, that which is experienced is loka. Lokyate, Anubhuyate, iti lokaha. So, lokaha means Janmani, he writes, where for that mantra, Asuryana mate lokaha, andhena tamasa vrutaha. I forget that line. Asuryanama te lokaha andhena tamasa vrutaha. So that is what he says. Asuri, the even heavenly world are like asuras. He says that is the wonderful thing, not he. The Veda says. Veda says if somebody is aspiring for a heavenly loka, it is an asura loka because asushu ramante iti asuraha. Asu means all these sensual pleasures. Asushu, indriyas, they do revel in the indriyas. So asushu ramante, all the sensual pleasures they do revel. So whether it is earth, whether you are drinking in a bar or whether you are drinking in heaven, you are doing the same. There is no Atma Vichara there. So that is the reason why it is called Asura Loka. So Upanishad says, so it's a very wonderful statement. Asuryanamate lokaha andhena tamasavataha. So andha tamas, it is associated with the darkness because there is no Atma Vichara there. So tanste pretyabhigachanti ekecha atmahano janaha. So those lokas are attained by people who do not think about the Atma. They are the Atma, they have done Atma Hatya. Atmahano janaha. Atmaha is somebody who kills his own Atma. Atmahanaha means the plural. Those who kill the Atma means they don't realize the Atma. When we don't realize the Atma, then it is as good as killing the Atma. So that is such interpretations we have to take. It is not as though some physical worlds are there, certain things which are there somewhere in some space and where some Russia or America can send some rocket and some satellite and then find out. Not like that. It is something where the state of experience in which the subtle body remains. You see, this once the physical body falls, the physical body is something which is made of the five elements on the earth only. And after the fall of the body, then what is it that transmigrates? That which transmigrates, what we call is called the subtle body, the linga sharira. That linga sharira consists of the mind, the senses, and the past karma. The karma baggage is very much there. So that karma means all those latent impressions, karma samskara. We saw that even earlier in the earlier sutras also. So these things they go, and then you are enjoying a heavenly world. Then somebody is enjoying there in Janaloka, somebody is there in Tapoloka, somebody is there in Satyaloka. So it is like that. So that is a state of experience. A loka is a state of experience. Let me read the note. It is not about sun gazing, sun sanyama on the sun. We should not take it as sun gazing or meditation on sun or Aditya Hridayam or anything. It refers to the passage of sun. That is, passage of sun again is not the physical passage of sun. That doorway, let us say, door or doorway of the sun, the bright path, Shukla Gati, as we see in the, this passage of sun also, I will remove this word. As told in Vedanta, it is also described in the Gita. In the Puranic concept of universe, we hear about the 7 nether worlds and 7 upper worlds. Okay, the upper worlds are being described first. Tat prastaraha, saptalokaha, tat prastaraha, the expanse of it. Prastaraha means prastaranam, that is expanse. Expansion. Their expansion is in the form of 7 worlds. Tatra aviche pravruti meru pushtam yavad, what is bhuloka, etc. He is describing. We will not go into details. Then Meru Pushtadarbhya Adhruvat Graha Nakshatra Tara Vichitro Antariksha Lokaha. That is, Antariksha Loka is something which is in between Earth and the moon, sun, etc. All that thing is Antariksha Loka. Tatah Param Swarlokaha. Above that is Swarloka. Then what is that Swarloka? Panchavidho Mahendra Trutiyo Loka. This Trutiya Loka, Om Bhuvam Bhuvaha Suvaha. We shall talk about Suvaha. That Suvaha is about Panchavidha. That again is five types, it seems. There is what is called Prajapatyaha. Prajapati's world is there. Then again Mahar Loka, Mahat, what we call Mahat. Mahat is Usually in Vedanta, we identify with, we equate or identify with Hiranyagarbha. That is the first being, the first cosmic being. That is Maya, pure Brahma, the Shuddha Brahma. In that Shuddha Brahma, that Maya Vachinnam Chaitanyam, the first level, that is that we call it Hiranyagarbha. Then Trividho Brahma, Tadyatha Janalokaha, Tapolokaha, Satyalokaha iti. Again, there is again three divisions: Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. These are among the heavenly lokas. There are certain worlds which are associated with pleasures. There are certain worlds which are from Maharloka onwards: Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. These four are the higher lokas. Om, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. They are the lower heavenly one. Even among the heavenly worlds, these are the lower. Again, something to do with good karma, something to do with austerity, tapas, thinking, all those things, they are associated with Satyaloka. This higher things, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Then Prajapatyaha Mahan. Then what is this Bhuloka he is describing here? Aviche, Aviche Upari. Avichi is one level of hell. And above that, Shan Maha Naraka Bhumayaha. So Naraka, there are six. Avichi is one level of hell. Then Shan Naraka Bhumayaha. Six Narakas are there. Naraka is hell. What are they? Ghana, Salila, Nala, Anila, Akasha, Tamah Pratishtha. So Ghana is a solid, Salila is liquid, and then Anala is air, and Anila is fire. Anala is fire, Anila is air, Anala and Anila. We have to see. Anala is fire, Anila is air. Analam, we know that word analam, how it comes. Alam means enough. Analam means fire never says alam, unless you pour water. So whenever you put more fuel into that, the more it brightens. So anala, that is why it is called analam. It never says enough. Anala, Anila, Akasha. So these Panchabhutas. Tamah Pratishtha. Tamah is darkness. Then I will not read out all these things. They are called Tato, Mahatala, Rasatala, Rasatala, Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Talatala, Patalakhyani, Satta Patalani. So if you read some Purana, something like Garuda Purana, then you will find the description of these lokas. Bhumihi Yam Ashtami, then Bhumi description of Saptadvipa, Vasundhara, there is a statement. Vasundhara, this world, this universe, this earth, what we call it, is Saptadvipa. It is having 7 dvipas. We are not very sure whether these people really had an idea about America, and right now we are talking about the 7 continents. Can we equate this word Saptadvipa with that 7 continents? We do not know. Saptadvipa, Vasumati. People might have done some research on this. We do not know. Saptadvipa Vasumati, Yasyaha Sumerur Madhye, this is print mistake, Sumerur Madhye, I have to check up whether it is Meru is Pumlinga, Merur Madhye, it has to be, I'll check up, maybe a typographical error. Sumerur Madhye Parvataraja Kanchanaha, there is a golden Parvata, mountain. It does not mean that it is made of gold. Because of the sunlight and all that, it looks golden. It looks golden in color. Then Tasya Rajata, Vaidurya, Spatika, Hema, Manimayani, Srungani. So all these things also, it refers to the color, and it is not as though there is Rajata and silver, there are Vaiduryas, there are Spatikas, and we should not think that all those things are there. Then all this I will skip. Then the geography of Earth with the 7 dvipas is described in this particular para. Then now the description of what is called Jambu Dvipa. Jambu Dvipa is where we are. This Jambu Dvipa, every day people who do Sandhyavandan, they say Jambu Dvipe, Bharata Varshe, Bharata Khande, Krishna Godavari or Madhya Desha, etc. Jambu Dvipa, Bharata Varsha is said to be part of this Jambu Dvipa. So the description of Jambu Dvipa is there. Shatasahasrayamo, Shatasahasra Ayamaha, Jambu Dvipaha, Tato Dvigunena Lavanodadhina. So there is 10,000 ayama, we do not know what is the distance, what is the unit there. So then Jambu Dvipaha is of that size. And then again it is surrounded by ocean twice its size. Dvigunena Lavanodadhina, Dvigunena Lavana Udadhina. It is, ocean is twice its size. Jambu Dvipa is there, 10,000 ayamas. and twice that size is that ocean, broadly tallying. Veshtitaha means it is surrounded. Then tatascha dvigunaha, shaka, kusha. So there are various other dvipas are also there. We need not go into that. Then he talks about the description of the residents of the upper worlds. Yeah, this is again interesting. Residents of these upper worlds. Shankaracharya, yeah, I was telling about this Ishavasya Upanishad. And yeah, one point is the lokas are different states of experience for the good or bad karma done in one's life. Human life is the karma bhumi. I don't know whether I have told this earlier, might have told. Karma bhumi, we talk about karma bhumi. Some people say, people who quote Puranas, they say, oh, Bharata Desha is the karma bhumi. This is a great land, karma bhumi. No doubt this is a great land. But karma bhumi does not refer to Bharata Desha, physical Bharata Desha. Why? Because if we want to refer to Karma Bhumi or Bharata Khanda or Bharata Varsha, then Bharata Varsha once upon a time extended up to Kandahar, and then it included Burma, included Nepal, it included Sri Lanka and all those things. So right now it is cut off. So now whatever is remaining, then what about all those places now? Then Karma Bhumi is a level. Karma Bhumi means the level at which a human being does karma. This is the earth. Human life is the level. The human life is the level where you are doing some good karma or bad karma, and then attaining that karma phalam. So that is the reason why it is called karma bhumi. Other bhumis are called deva bhoga bhumis. Bhoga does not mean experience, happiness only. Bhoga means just bhuja means eating. You may be eating karela, or you may be eating some other banana or mango or something like that. So bitter fruit may be a bitter fruit or it may be a sweet fruit. Human life is the level at which a person does good or bad karma. Then let us see the people. Mahendra Nivasinaha, this Indraloka, Shad Devanikayaha. They are somewhat like gods. Tridashaha means Tridasha, they never exceed the age of 30. Tridasha, that is one thing, Tridasha. And some other meaning is Balya, Yavana, Kaumara. Balya, Kaumara, and Yavana. These three only are there. No Vardhakyam. That is one meaning. Tridasha, 30 years of that size, of that age only. They are always young, like some youth parties. So in some political parties also youth wing. So that in that youth wing we find people of the age of 60 also. So Tridashaha. Agnishwataha. This is one type of divine beings. Yamyaha, Tushitaha, Aparinirmita, what is this? Vashavartinaha, Aparinirmita Vashavartinaha. They have absolute control on so many things. Parinirmita Vashavartinascha iti. There are some grades there. There are some people who have got greater powers and some people who have got lower powers. Sarve Sankalpa Siddhaha. Whatever Sankalpa they have, they do attain. Animadya Aishwaryopapannaha, Anima, Lagima, etc. All those things they have. Kalpayushaha. That means they live till the end of this Kalpa. Vrundarakaha. Vrundaraka is somebody who has to be respected. Then kama bhoginaha, whatever they want, they do get. Aupapadika dehaha. Aupapadika dehaha means they can take up any form, whatever form they like. Uttama anukulabhihi apsarobhihi krutaparicharaha. Uttama anukulabhihi apsarobhihi. Uttama, very high class. Anukula, very friendly also. Anukulabhihi apsarobhihi, by those apsaras, by those divine damsels. Kurta paricharaha. All these divine damsels, they do paricharya, they attend on these people very, very willingly. So Uttama Anukula also. So Kruta Paricharaha. Then Mahatloka, that is the world, the higher levels. Then again Kumudaha, Rubhavaha, Pratardanaha, Anjanavaha, we do not know what these things are. Then Prathame Brahmanaha, Janaloke, Chaturvidho Devanikaya, then Prathame Brahmana, these are all the Brahmalokas. What Svargalokas are up to the level of all these things which were described above. Then Brahmalokas are again Jana, Tapaha, Satyam. They are the Brahmaloka. Then Janaloka, Chaturvidho Devanikaya, Brahma Purohitaha, Brahma Kaikaha, Brahma Purohitaha. We are not sure what it means. Brahma Mahakaikaha, Amaraha. These people are also Bhutendriya Vasinaha, Bhuta Indriya Vasinaha. All the five elements are under their control. And that does not mean they indulge in all sensual pleasures and all. They are also Indriya Vashinaha. They also have got Indriya Jaya. So within them, when you have got Indriya Jaya, naturally, Indriya Jaya, Manojaya, when somebody has attained, naturally, he even if something is available, he will not do anything wrong. Dviguna Uttarayushaha. So their lifespan also extends. Janaloka, twice the lifespan is that Janaloka, what is that? Jana, Tapaha, Satyam. So like that. Then Vitiye Tapasi Loke. Tapaloka also there are different types of people. You see here, you see the description. Prakriti Vashinaha, Dviguna Uttarayushaha, Sarve Dhyanaharaha. Dhyanameva Aharaha Tesham. The Dhyanam, meditation itself is the Ahara. That happiness in that Dhyana, that is the Ahara for them. Dhyanahara. Urdhvaretasaha. Urdhvaretasaha means those who have controlled their retas. Retas is their sexual desire. They absolutely they have never, there is also a word called askarita. Such people, urdhvaretasaha. Urdhvam apratihata jnanaha. Apratihata jnanaha means there is absolutely no obstruction for their knowledge. They have knowledge of everything. Athara bhumishu anavrta jnana vishayaha. In all those lower worlds also, they have got anavrta jnana vishayaha. Nothing which is concealed to them. Avrutam is concealed. Anavrta is not concealed. Then Satyaloka is something. Trutiye Brahmana Satyaloke. Chatvaraha Devanikaya. Four types of people. Who are they? Some Achyuta. Then Savitarka Dhyana Yukta. Who are they? They now in the first sutra, first adhyaya, we heard about Savitarka, Savichara, Sananda, Sasmita. Vitarkanugata, Vicharanugata, Asmitanugata, Anandanugata. So these four types of say samadhi, Anandanugata, Savitarka Samadhi, Savichara Samadhi. We heard about those samadhis. The people who attain those samadhis, they go to this particular loka. That means the emphasis which we see in the Upanishads is always tapas is something which is superior to kamya karma. I do great yajna, etc., for my punyam or my glorification, etc. So tapas is something which is held in higher esteem. So that is what we see here. Savitarka, so yeah, Savitarka Dhyana Sukhaha, Shuddha Nivasaha, Savichara Dhyana Sukhaha. So Sananda, Sasmita, etc. Tepi Trailokya Madhye Pratitishtanti. They are in the realm of the three worlds. Sarva Yesha Brahmalokaha. Sarve Eva Brahmalokaha. Then Videha and Prakrutilayastu, Mokshapade Vartante. We have heard about, read about Videha Prakrutilayanam, we saw some sutra. Videhalaya, Prakrutilaya. It means, what does it mean? A person after having done Viveka on what is Prakriti and what is Purusha, once he totally dissolves the whole body dissolves into that Prakriti. So that is what we saw. And Shuddha Chaitanya is separate, and this Prakriti Laya, this thing is totally resolved into Prakriti. So that is what is called Prakriti Laya. It is as good as attaining moksha, or not as good as, it is one type of moksha. This is moksha, Prakriti Laya. The body mind complex gets resolved in Prakriti, and its intelligence is totally, it is merging with the cosmic consciousness. So that is intelligence, consciousness, sorry, liberation or emancipation, whatever we say. Videha prakritilayastu mokshapade vartante. So they are at the level of moksha. Iti na lokamadhye nyastaha. They are not in the loka, in this loka. Etad yoginaha. Etad yogina sakshat karaniyam. Suryadvare samyamam krutva. So here he is giving the key. Vyasa, he could have told this first. We don't know why he is telling at the end. So yogina sakshat karaniyam suryadvare samyamam krutva. Suryadvara. Some people have given some other esoteric meaning also with reference to the yogic tradition. In that yogic tradition, we hear about Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna. Ida is there, it is called one nadi, and Pingala is one nadi, and this Surya Dwara is said to be that Sushumna nadi. So we are not very sure about those about the esoteric meanings of that unless we learn from a yoga practitioner, somebody who is actually doing that Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, that type of yoga. Then next sutra we come to that. Those who have merged into Prakriti after realization, they do not fall in any of the above categories. Then one more sutra. Chandre Taravyuha Jnanam. Chandre. Yeah, we finished this sutra very quickly. Of course, here, are there any more points here? Esoteric meaning, 7 heavenly worlds and 7 hells. Yeah, the 7 heavenly hells also were described earlier in the same bhashya. I have skipped them. In fact, the 7 heavenly worlds and 7 hellish worlds, they seem to be there in all ancient cultures. Because long ago, when I was reading what is called Umar Khayyam, Rubayat of Umar Khayyam, there is also a Rubayat there. That is Jamshad's 7-ringed cup. It talks about a 7-ringed cup. That 7-ringed cup, there the footnote gives, it is about the 7 lokas. So 7 rings, 7, they are like upper and upper rings. So it seems they have got a tradition where they drink wine in a 7-ringed cup. So that again is symbolic. Then similarly, I was telling about Dante's Divine Comedy. In Dante's Divine Comedy, again, there are 7 heavenly worlds and 7 lower worlds. So even somebody who is not belonging to Christian tradition, even if you are Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, or some other Acharya, or even if you are Socrates or Aristotle or anybody, you are in that hell only. You are in that hell only, but you are in a hell where there is less intensity of fire and all that. Just some fire we are getting, but we are not very badly exposed to fire and we are not badly exposed to torture. We do listen to all those sounds and we don't get nice sleep, and then we are getting all the sounds like that. So that is the mildest level of hell. So the Divine Comedy, it describes about various levels of heaven also, almost similar to that, almost similar to what we see here. So we do not know, some sort of cultural transfusion might have taken place. We do not know from where to where, but this lokas, etc., they are there right from our Upanishad times. So I feel that probably these Upanishads ideas could have gone into the West also. Then, yeah, there is only 1 minute. I can skip we can stop here, I think. Chandre Tarav, yeah, this line is only one line. I'll read it. Chandre Tarav Yuha Jnanam. Chandra. This is again what is called the other path. That is Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati. Chandra Loka is also called Pitruloka. We see that in Gita Bhashya. Chandra Loka is also called Pitruloka. By doing Sanyama on the moon, one attains the knowledge of the cosmic arrangement of stars. We do not know how it is. Tara Vyuha. Vyuha is what is Vyuha? Army, when army marches and then when it is positioned for battle, there is a Vyuha, Yuddha Vyuha. Vyuha means an arrangement. There is a particular structure, there is a particular arrangement of all those things, contingents, various contingents of army units. So that is what is called Vyuha. Vyuha Jnanam, how all these things are structured in the whole, that entire firmament. So that particular Jnanam one attains by doing Sanyama on the moon. Moon means that Chandra Dwara. Earlier one is Shukla Gati and this is the Krishna Gati. Shukla Gati and Krishna Gati, I just explained to you. Shukla Gati is by doing some tapas and such good deeds. And Krishna Gati is by Sakama Karma, by some Sakama Karma. I want heaven and I perform a yajna. And that is regarding, that is associated, always associated with Punaravrutti, that is Punarjanma. So this is what we see here from 28. We'll see in the next class.
Thank you, sir. In Sutra number 26, you explained about Anala, Agni. It is Na Alamiti Anala. Is there any explanation about Anila also?
Like Anila, I have to see that etymology. I don't remember.
Okay. And one more thing is the same Sutra. Sumerur Madhye. So it is like Guru Shabda, Ukaranta, Trilinga Shabda. So Sumeruhu Madhye. So that Visarga Sandhi is becoming Refa Desha and it is read as.
Correct? Is it correct?
I'm asking this.
No. Meru, is it not Pumlinga?
The like Guru Shabda, Guru. So
Guru.
Sumer Hu
Madhye.
Madhye.
Guroh Pado,
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, like that. So
Guru Vishnu
Sumeru
is okay. Gurur Madhye, Guru Merur Madhye. I'm not very
yeah.
sure. That is what I said. Merur Madhye.
Okay.
Yeah, what you said may be true also, correct also, because Meror Madhye, Guroh Guruvoh Gurunam, Guroh Guruvoh Gurunam, Gurau Guruvoh Gurushu, Guror Madhye, Guror Madhye, there is no middle of Guru.
Okay.
Guru. So maybe it may be Sumerur Madhye could be also. I'm not sure. Okay.
Thank you, sir. One more question, sir. In the Ramayana, Sugriva sends troops to all four corners.
Yes.
Is that also comprises Bharata Varsha?
Yes. Not only Bharatavarsha, he sends to, yeah, I do remember that what all Sugriva says. So Sugriva gives direction to all those four contingents which go in four directions. And there again, it is almost ending with what is called Jambudvipa. Again, it stops with Meru Parvata, and then beyond that again, he says the sun goes there and takes rest and comes out again. So something like that. The geography of Ramayana is not even as specific as here. Geography of Ramayana, it gives the geography of the then whatever knowledge was there of the Bharatavarsha and also of the Southeast Asian countries. Because Southeast Asian countries also probably our people had some knowledge, because if not by great huge ships and whatnot, even through small sails and the small boats, they could have gone somewhere and then they went out. So some whatever knowledge was there, that is not very. In fact, it is not as impressive as this. So this here, Vyasa Bhashya is giving a more correct picture. So there, so what Sugriva describes, it is more fantastic, we can say, more of fantasy.
Thank you, sir. That's all. There are no other questions.
Okay. Harihi Om. That's it.
Namaskara.